Hey there, everyone. Welcome to another another live stream, Thursday night watch talk. I am joined by my friend Average Joe Watch Reviews, Joe from Average Joe Watch Reviews. Joe, how are you doing, man? Good to see you. It's been a while, man. What's up? Can you hear me?
Yes, I am doing very well. Thank you so much for having me.
No problem. Are you watching
You
us
know
in
what?
delay?
I am going to get rid of that because I was
Yeah.
trying.
So how you doing, man?
Give me 1 second. I'm trying to get rid of this thing here.
Okay.
It's really playing with me here. Here we go.
Yeah.
All right, I think we're good now. Okay,
Yeah.
good.
Yeah. Okay.
All right, cut. Take two.
Okay, hey,
Hey.
welcome to everybody to Thursday Night Watch Talk. I am Bobby Legs, and I'm joined with by Average Joe Watch Reviews. Joe, what is going on? How you doing
All
today?
right, man. Hey, Bobby, how you doing? Thanks for having me on. It's been a while.
Yeah, it's been since you were saying since last summer. You did a watch soup with Sanjay and I.
Yes.
That was a lot of fun, right?
That was a lot of fun. And when you asked me the other night, I was like, you know what? I had a lot of fun last time. Let's do this again. So I'm coming out
Yeah,
of hiding.
yeah. The streams are a good time, and it's a good way to you know chat up some watches. We're kind of like the world's a crazy place these days, right? So it's a nice way to get
hmm
away for a little while in the evening. Joe, what do you got on wrist tonight?
Well, for
Oh,
those that follow the channel or at least follow me on Instagram, you probably can guess, but I am wearing the Tudor Black Bay GMT. Just purchased this last Friday and I'm loving it.
excellent, excellent. So, what size wrist are you?
I have a 7-inch wrist.
Okay, okay. I think the knock that I've heard of from those is just a little bit thick. But how does it feel? You got a big enough wrist that you probably handle it, right?
Yeah, and you know what the thing is? I have the bracelet size to a point where I have really no room left. I mean, it's tight
Mm-hmm.
on there.
Mm-hmm.
And, these watches are typically top heavy,
Yeah.
but the way they engineer the bracelet, it
Yeah.
actually kind of counterbalances it.
Okay.
And I
Okay.
think if you have the wrist circumference, this thing does
Yeah.
not go back and forth at all.
Yeah. Yeah.
Unlike my Breitling, that's a 43 millimeter, is top heavy. That
Mm-hmm.
one will go back and forth a little bit. This one
Mm-hmm.
is actually really well balanced. So,
Nice. Nice.
yeah.
Yeah, Tudor, great brand. I've owned a couple of Black Bay 58s,
Mhm.
never a 41, only the 58s. I'm actually hoping that they come out with a GMT 58 because that'd be like well, the hottest watch for a good long time, I would think. You know what I mean? Because I think, like I said, the knock on that watch for guys who have a smaller wrist is that even although you're saying that the bracelet counters it, it just also
Mhm.
depends on the size of your wrist, right?
Well,
You
it,
know,
it,
and
it is a thick watch. It's
yeah,
about it's 14.7 millimeters
no,
thick,
that's
which
that's all right.
yeah, I mean it's definitely a chunky monkey.
Yeah.
But I think that the 39 millimeter is coming. But they may have to source that from Breitling though, because
Hmm.
this one here actually has the Tudor in-house movement. So
Hmm.
they would have to actually then develop one that's thin enough
Right.
and small enough to go into. So they may have to
Yeah.
go back to Breitling because Breitling has has been involved in putting movements in some of their other pieces,
Yeah.
and maybe do that for 39 millimeter Tudor.
Yeah, that'd be great. I never thought it would be a possibility because I thought, why would they do that? They would cannibalize the 41 by making a Black Bay 58 GMT. But
Mhm.
now I think after a few years, I'm starting to soften that position. I think that would actually happen. If it doesn't happen this year, maybe in the next couple of years, because they seem to put a
Right.
lot of focus on that Black Bay 58 line of recently with all the releases in the different types of metals
hmm
and maybe potentially doing different colored dials. Maybe we'll
Yeah.
see some of that coming up. Anyway, love the Tudor. Congratulations, and
Thank you
uh,
very
and
much.
I think we're going to circle back and talk about that in
Uh,
relation to another point that I want to talk about. But I'm wearing today the Rolex Air King, which
Looks
I actually just
nice.
got the call from the boutique the other day. And, you know, we're going to say hello to the crowd, but you put out a video yesterday that I found very, very interesting. And the timing was very interesting, especially since I just got the second Rolex
Your
I've gotten in
second
the last
one,
6 months, in the 6 months. But I mean, I like your take on what you had to say. So let's say hello to the chat first, and then we'll get right into that video that you put out yesterday. Um,
absolutely.
hey Dan, how you doing? Good to see you. Bill K's here. Chaz from the Berg. What's going on, Chaz? Hey, Peter C's here. Hey
Hey,
Joe. Hey,
Peter.
hey Bobby. Rick on watches. What's up, man? How you doing? Hey, there's Chris from the Watch Lounge. What's going on, dude?
What's up, Chris?
Hey, Hobby Bobby's here.
How you
Uh,
doing, buddy?
Jared's here. Evening, everyone. Hope the week has been treating you well. Excited as always for a stream tonight. And he's got his white dial S&P 300 on tonight. Guys, let us know what you're wearing on your wrist. B-Dev is here as well. Wilson, hey, Big Wrist, what's going on? How you doing? Scott's here. What is up? Justin is strapped in. Okay. Joe's here, another Philly guy.
Hey.
Kevin S is here. What is up? Hey, Chris with the super chat. Thank you. Gonna have two better dudes on the panel. Thanks, man. Appreciate it. Thanks for the super chat, Chris. Really appreciate it. Hey, Neff is here. What is going on? Seamless transition. Yeah, we had a rocky start, but we're gonna make up for it. Don't worry about it, guys. Janie Eileen is here.
That is the wifey.
That is the
How you
wife. How
doing?
you, Janie? How you doing?
Yes.
Nice. Thank you for stopping in. Pale Horse is here. Hey, Wayben, what's going on? Teach is here. Jeffrey, what is up? Let's see. Scrolling. And Wilson is wearing nice. The Sea Dweller 43. Mr. Jones has got his Formex Essence. He posted that up a few days ago, I think, or I feel like it was a few days ago on Instagram. Beautiful watch. Josh is here. What's up? Hey guys, checking in. Can't wait to the whole stream now, but
What's going on,
wanted to say
Josh?
hello. Hey, Bobby's here. Also, I'm wearing khakis, all state. Okay. All right, sure. Okay. Quicker than drawing. Hello. Jim T is here.
Very nice.
So he's wearing this. Yep. Josh wearing a Christopher Ward C63 Sealander bronze on wrist. I had the GMT for a hot minute, and I got to
Okay.
put a review out on it. Have you seen Josh's Christopher Ward?
Yes, that actually has the set fire dial. So in certain
Mm.
lights, it actually looks like a mirror, where it's
Ooh.
very highly reflective, and the indices looks like they're floating on the dial. It's a very and it's translucent, so it's really cool. You
Huh.
can see the movement and everything. It's really cool.
Oh, very nice.
Yeah.
Yeah. Christopher Ward, they surprised me. I mean, I really, I've heard really good things about him, right? And people who they have like a really devoted fan base, right? I mean, they have a lot of people who support the brand, and but I had the weird thing with the logo at the 9 o'clock position of the name, and it just kind of
Yeah.
bothered me. But I saw that Sealander GMT, and it had the name. Yeah. But I don't mind it there
Oh,
like that. I don't mind it there because you have the moon phase. That doesn't bother me so much.
I actually had
Um,
this watch for like 6 months.
I know I
Beautiful
saw the
watch,
review.
man.
Yeah,
Man,
yeah, and a great review
thank
on
you.
it. But there I don't mind it because I get it,
Mhm.
right? I get it. You have to because I rather if you're gonna do a moon watch, man, do a moon watch. Like don't give me
Yeah.
like a little thing at the corner.
Right. Right.
Give
Right.
me like half a dial. And Christopher Ward, kudos to them. And Meister Singer, they've done it as well. And Arnold and Son, at higher price
Right.
point, has done one as well. Really like half the dials of Moonface. It's great.
That's the way it should be done.
Absolutely. Let's go here. MJ's here. How you doing?
Can't go wrong with Citizen, man. I love Citizen.
Yeah, absolutely. The Green Dot GG, I did cancel the order, and then a month later, I ended up purchasing it again. And I'll go into review why it didn't stick around for longer than it did. Nothing really against the watch itself. It's just, well, stick around for the review. Thanks again, Chris. Bobby and Joe, we all need to get up and drink at my cousin's brewery in New Jersey, guys. I think that's all. I think he said that it's in South Jersey, probably not too far away
Yeah,
from where you
I'm
guys.
gonna go there one of these days. It's definitely on my list.
Okay, great, awesome. Okay, so guys, if you guys have any questions for Joe, please chime in the chat. Now, Joe, coincidentally, I was thinking about asking you to come on anyway, but I thought it was good timing to ask you when I did, because you came out with a video. I believe it was yesterday, and you're with Chris and Josh from the Town Watch,
Right.
talking about what the title was. Not buying a Rolex, or Rolex is not for me, or you're not going to buy a Rolex anytime soon, or something to those along those lines. The day before, or 2 days before, I had actually just picked up the Air King from the boutique. I got the call, so I
Hmm.
was like, "Oh, okay, let's take a look at this." And so, for some of the people who haven't seen the video or not subscribed to their channel, by the way, link to Joe's channel is in the description below. Um, can you just
Thank you.
give us like a little bit, a snapshot of what your thoughts are on Rolex and why you're not going to be adding any Rolex anytime soon?
Absolutely. And you know what? I had actually checked the title of it too, because it was a pretty long title. Why I won't buy a
Yeah,
Rolex.
yeah.
Watch collectors are afraid to tell you this. So I'm one of those guys that I'm not a fan of Rolex, not the watch, because I think
Hmm.
the watches are really well built. I think they're beautiful watches. But the issue that I discussed in the video is the culture
Hmm.
of basically having to be a previous customer, having to go on a waiting list, not having to be able to go into a Rolex authorized dealer and actually pick up a watch like any other watch brand you can do. And it's also like that customer service, not that I've had personal experience with bad customer service, but I've heard some horror stories from
Hmm.
some reliable sources in regards to being qualified, walking in like me, an average Joe, and
Hmm.
basically, just being treated like an average Joe that can't
Hmm.
afford a Rolex.
Hmm.
And that's one of the first things I bring up in the video is, the reason why I'm not adding a Rolex isn't because I can't afford one. It's because of the culture, the
Hmm.
way that you have to go about getting one. And it's a problem for me,
Yeah, yeah.
So that's really the gist of it. And then I actually get the views from Josh from the Town Watch and Chris from the Watch Lounge. He actually works at Luxury Bazaar, which is a gray market dealer.
Hmm.
And we get into why we have to pay double the prices for at a gray market dealer.
Hmm.
And so yeah, it's a really interesting video. I definitely would recommend it. And
Hmm.
it's probably going to get a lot of hate, which at the end
Hmm.
of the day gets me a lot of views. So I'm
Yeah,
cool with
yeah,
that.
yeah. Um, I get it. You know what I mean? Like I totally understand where you're coming from, and I think you also mentioned kind of the hype that's around Rolex, especially from
Right.
on Instagram, right?
Absolutely.
Where people are, just like flashing it, whether it's theirs or not. You know what I mean? Like just trying to
Yeah.
get this like this aura, right? This image, right? It's I get it. I understand. And so let me share, and I don't disagree with anything that you say.
Hmm.
I'll let you. I'll tell some of my experience with it, with Rolex and ADs and whatnot. I've been to a few ADs in the last couple of years,
Okay.
and you know, um, display cases mostly empty, right? And but I have to say, now the first time I went to one AD over here in PA, that's not too far away, near like Bethlehem and Allentown, whatever.
Right.
I walked in there with my son. I think I had maybe jeans and a t-shirt and hat,
Hmm.
and I went in there and I was treated pretty well. They just, couldn't help me because they didn't have any sports Rolex there. But I had told them that I was also interested in a Datejust and possibly an OP at the time. And so they were, looking forward to help me. And actually about a week or two later, the guy who was, I was dealing with over there called me and said, "Hey, he has that OP. that I was kind of interested in. But would I be interested to have it here? And so, and I passed on it at the time because I really wanted a sports. I really wanted like a Submariner at the time or whatnot. I didn't want to buy the Datejust just to buy the Datejust. And I knew I could probably, if I waited long enough, get one anyway because it's not like one of those like sports Rolexes like that are so high in demand. Um, but so I was treated pretty well.
Hmm.
And then I went and visited that same AD about a year later, and things got tougher. And me and the guy were just talking realistically. Now he didn't give me any impression. Now it was an AD. They sold jewelry. They were mostly jewelry, right? They
Hmm.
had some Breitling and Tudor, but it was mostly jewelry. He never gave me the impression that I was going to have to buy jewelry or anything else, right, to help
Right.
my chances get up and whatnot in the list on
Hmm.
their list. Um,
Yeah.
but he was just being realistic about it, and he said that they barely get anything in, and maybe that's true, maybe that's not. But he told me like call him every once in a while to check in. So and but I mean that's I just got frustrated. So then I just didn't bother it, and I started collecting other stuff, other watches and whatnot. Now there was other ads that I had reached out to, but I only bought via email, so I didn't really put in the effort. But fortunately I never had that experience where I just didn't feel good enough to buy the watch. And the reason why I got lucky these last couple times is because I actually went to boutiques that had just relatively just opened recently. And so like there was no huge buy history line, right, of people. And so when I went for my Submariner, I only waited 6 7 weeks to get it, right, from first contact. And then with the Air King, it was about 2.5 months from first contact. And so while I believe that there's people out there who have had really bad experience at ads and boutiques, there's also people like me that just haven't had that experience per se. And it just requires an amount of patience. Now I would never, I've told myself this, I would not buy Rolex in the secondary market, because I don't want to spend those
Right.
prices.
Right.
I would only buy it at MSRP, and I got lucky. I look. I know most people don't have the same experience I have,
Hmm.
especially in the last 6 months with this, but it does happen. And yeah.
Yeah, let me ask you a question though, like, because I think that they're being a little bit more slick about it because we know that Rolex produces millions and millions of watches a year.
Yeah.
Why is it that anyone that I speak to, even a couple of the, I wouldn't say boutiques, but like I'm not even going to bring that up because that
Mm.
has nothing to do with the Rolex ADs. But um, I noticed that you said that the case was pretty much empty. Well, and you even said you're like, oh well, they may have them in the back, right? And that could be for those that
Yeah.
are what on the waiting list, maybe. Like it's like they're playing games. It's like, why don't you just
Yeah.
put out your merchandise and let us buy it? We have money, let's do it.
No, look, I understand that. I understand that frustration, right? I
Yeah.
think there's some bad actors out there, and I think
Hmm.
there's some genuine people out there, right?
Right.
Now, he may or may not have had stuff in the back. I don't know. I always assume the worst, meaning that he
Hmm.
probably had something back there, but maybe
Right.
he didn't.
Me
You
too.
know what I
Me
mean?
too. Yeah. We don't
You
know
know,
for sure, but I mean
we don't know for
that's my
sure.
suspicion as well. Yeah.
And they're also, in a way, they have to look at the bigger picture. I guess they're running a business, right? They have other stuff that needs to be sold, bigger margins. They want that stuff sold, and here's your reward. Your reward is that you may purchase this watch from us, which is kind of like BS, but I mean it is what it is, right? We don't have to like it, um, but it's the
Exactly.
reality situation. And I think I think your take is very very legit, and I get it too. I get
Yeah.
it.
And here's the thing. I mean, you own two Rolexes, beautiful watches. I mean,
Hmm.
it doesn't, at the end of the day, like you buy what you want
Yeah.
and it's your money, right?
Yeah.
For me, I like to take my money and purchase items, purchase services. Like for
Hmm.
instance,
Hmm.
like I discussed in the video, I don't go to diners because they have the best food. I
Yeah.
go there because I get the best customer service. And it's just the way I am with everything in life. I don't always have the best of things. I like to have the best of
Yeah.
experiences. And
Yeah.
when I went to an Omega boutique, they were pouring me
Mhm.
champagne and they were
Mhm.
very kind and they
Yeah.
were
Mhm.
trying every watch in
Yeah.
the store on my wrist. Like that was an experience. And
Yeah.
that right there is like going to bring me back. And I have gone back because of that.
Yeah.
So,
No,
yeah.
I get that too. I mean,
Yeah.
look, maybe the boutiques are a little bit different than the
Hmm.
ADs. When I went to the boutiques, I mean, I was offered, coffee or water. The one that I got the Air King from the first time I went there back in December, which was just to have a chat with the salesperson. I mean, they had hors d'oeuvres. So like, there was some nice treatment there. You know what I mean?
Right.
So maybe AD and boutiques are different, how they operate things. It sounds like that they are, right? So I did get a good experience. Now, probably even having hors d'oeuvres offered or champagne, maybe not as nice as what Omega does. But I don't know. I don't know. Maybe if you tried a boutique, not that if you're ever interested, you try a boutique, you might have a totally different experience
Right.
with that. Now, going back to what you're saying, Rolex makes millions of watches a year.
Hmm.
I think there's a whole lot of factors going on. I think there's a whole lot of interest in Asia in particular. I think Rolex is seen as way more of a status symbol there
Right.
than it is here. And it's almost, I mean, here it's kind of like traded as a commodity. I mean, there are people using the word traded with Rolexes, and I think
Hmm.
especially in Asia now, it's just using it's a way to stash money because you never
Yeah.
know what governments might crack down on property or whatever this and that. But anyway, that's a whole different discussion. So I don't see, I haven't heard of them upping production at all.
Hmm.
So it's more like, I guess, maybe stuff that gets spread out more. I don't know. I don't know. It's all a big mystery. But a little bit of transparency probably might be a good idea, right?
I think if Rolex did basically kind of what Omega does, where it's like, all right, they take a kind of a hold, and they take control of how these businesses are run, and kind of
Hmm.
make that uniform experience. It
Hmm.
would change the culture.
Yeah. Yeah.
Maybe have more boutiques as opposed to these authorized dealer type models. But look, at the end of the day, Rolex is making money,
Yeah.
and they don't need an average Joe telling them how to run a business. So, I mean,
Yeah.
I'm
But maybe
just,
they do.
you know,
But maybe
maybe
they
they
do,
do. I
though.
mean,
Yeah.
this average Joe's not going to be spending any money with them, but
Yeah.
I mean, again, that's just me, though. I mean, they got
Yeah.
plenty of other people waiting in line. So, I
Yeah.
mean, at
Yeah.
the end of the day, buy what you want, and
Yeah.
for me, it's all about experience. So, yeah,
Yeah. Kevin S is saying, are they dismissive? Do they engage with you if they see you're an enthusiast? Can you have a decent conversation with them about watches? I think that's what really helped me with this in this current situation. The sales rep that I was talking to is a
yeah,
huge enthusiast and collector, and we started talking about independent brands, and he was really interested in my Harbring because he actually knows Josh Shapiro, who did a collaboration with Harbring, and we got into a conversation about that. And I think, having that connection, puts me in the forefront. And plus, I've seen him, met him a couple times there, texted him a
hmm,
couple times. I just kind
yeah.
of kept in his on his radar, and I think that helps.
Yeah, a lot of times it's who sometimes too,
Absolutely.
yeah.
Orange Hand, there's good ADs and bad ADs. Can't paint them all with the same brush. Yeah, I agree. Email and AD is not the right plan. Absolutely. Face to face is a relationship must. The only reason why I was emailing ADs that were, um, a little further away from than just an average drive for me. It was a shot in the dark. I didn't think it was going to work, but I just figured I'd give it a try. But the face to face is huge. Face to face is
Yeah.
huge. Um, hey, Steve is here. How you doing? No problem. Let's see. Rick says most ADs don't have true waiting lists. I think yeah, I know you're right. You're absolutely right. They don't have like true waiting lists, but I think they have just people that they keep in mind. You know, um, yeah. Every business gives their best customer special privileges, so I get that part. Um, And Caliber's like, my AD experience with Rolex has been less than stellar in the last couple of years. Yeah, it's been crazy the last couple of years, right? Um, the market has been just nuts, and they're so highly sought after. Um, let's see what Rotor Tiger says here. He says, suggestion: those bad ADs don't spend any time on money or on sales training because that attitude is totally out of place. As interpersonal skills are essential. Absolutely,
Mm-hmm.
right? And I think
100%.
you've heard of some experiences like I think you were seeing in the video. Was it you that you're saying that you knew somebody or somebody had told you that they were at the AD and the lady was playing games on her phone, the
Yeah.
sales rep?
Yeah, Nico Leonard. I mean, I know a lot of you guys know
Yeah. That's
him.
right.
He does a lot of these watch reactions, and I met him over at the Luxury Bazaar. He was talking about an experience that he had in one of his videos where he was like in a t-shirt and jeans, and he was looking at, I don't know, some kind of 50,000. I don't know which one it was, but the lady just wasn't taking him seriously. She was playing some type of game on her phone, and he would ask questions, and she was just kind of just like, whatever, just don't bother me. I'm playing on my phone, So,
Hmm.
it's that kind of stuff there. But I think the big thing for me is, when I walk in somewhere, I want to know that if I have the money, I could buy this. And I don't
Hmm.
have to be part of a special club. I don't have
Yeah.
to have been a previous customer. I don't have to be on some kind of special waiting list. I don't play games.
Yeah.
Money's
Yeah.
green. Money's green, and I should be able to
Hmm.
buy what you're selling. And if you're not, look, it's your business, but I'll take my business elsewhere. And
Hmm.
that's my
Hmm.
attitude. So yeah, may not be all the ADs, but the couple of ADs is hurting it for the bunch for me because
Yeah.
I don't feel like trying to find which one's the good one.
Yeah,
Because
I
to
know.
me,
I,
you know
I
what I
get
mean?
that. I get that. It's like,
Diamond,
you know,
diamond in the rough.
yeah, man. I mean, like, dude, you're a working guy. You got a family. You got a kid, man. Like you don't have all this time to just go find, searching for the
I don't
ADs. I mean,
I
I
don't
get
play
that.
games. I'm too old. I'm too old for that, man. I played games when I was in my 20s. Maybe I would play
Yeah.
that game then, but I don't chase around and
Yeah.
you know go on my hands and knees and beg to buy someone's product. That's
Yeah.
ridiculous. I mean, I'd go
I,
walk into a Breitling or Omega and buy anything I wanted.
yeah.
No problem.
Yeah.
Whatever's there, sure. You want to try it on? Here's some champagne. Boom. Great experience. So
Yeah. Okay. So, you had just mentioned Luxury Bazaar, and I am curious. A lot of us here follow Roman Sharf on on YouTube and Instagram, and also, a lot of us here follow Chris on YouTube and on Instagram as well from the Watch Lounge, and he's there. What was that experience like? Did you buy a watch? Did you buy that Tudor from Luxury Bazaar?
yeah, so this tutor is actually from Luxury Bazaar, and I got an excellent deal. And I actually have a video coming out on that in the next couple of weeks. But I have no problem giving you guys some spoilers here. And if you don't
Yeah.
want to be, if you don't want any spoilers, then you might want to mute this. But um, so Chris from the Watch Lounge, he sent me this tutor in a DM, and I was like, yeah, that's a great watch, but I'm not in any position to buy a $4,000 watch. He's like, well, let me talk to Roman and see what I can do for you. I'm like, okay, fine. Get a couple $100 off.
Yeah.
Try
Yeah.
and yeah, sure, okay.
Yeah.
So yeah, so he goes back. He goes to Roman, comes back to me, and he gives me this price, and I'm like, okay, is that naked? Is this watch all scratched up? Is it a fugazi? Like, what's
Yeah.
going
Yeah.
on here?
Yeah. Yeah.
Um, so I come in and I see the watch, and the watch is perfect. I mean,
Yeah.
it had three scratches on the buckle,
Yeah. That's
and
nothing.
that was it.
Yeah.
It had box, it had papers, it had the card. I mean, everything you wanted is right there. And I'm just like, what is the catch? And then I see Roman, and Roman's
Mm.
like, um, I have no problem with you sharing the fact that I just gave this to you at my cost, because sometimes it's worth not making a profit when it comes to friends. And the fact that he called me a friend and considered me that, I was very honored and humbled. And the fact that the only reason why I bought the watch was because I got it at cost. Because man, I was
Yeah.
not prepared to spend that kind of money for it, and
Yeah.
it would be rude for me not to. So
Yeah. Yeah.
what you see on Luxury Bazaar
Yeah.
is what you see when the cameras are off. These
Yeah.
are truly
Yeah.
good guys
Yeah.
behind the camera or behind the scenes,
Yeah.
and what a great experience, man.
That's awesome. So is it so I mean, is there like a lounge area? Like I haven't seen any like I think there was some video from Roman's channel a little bit like showing it a little bit. I don't know if I got that wrong or right. I thought I saw you like in there like looking at a watch. Is it lounge? Is it it's like what's the ambiance in some of these places?
Sure.
Because I've never been to like Luxury Bazaar or Watch Box or any like those
Yeah.
kind of places.
It's actually a really large industrial building.
Yeah.
When you come in from the parking lot, you actually have to ring a bell. They have to buzz you in. So it's like
Yeah.
high security there. You
Yeah.
walk right into the lounge area, and that's where they walk down like this 2 flights of stairs, really, and it's like this these metallic, industrial looking stairs.
Yeah.
And if you go up the stairs, Roman's office is the first one you'll see.
Yeah.
And he's got this big, extravagant office, and his door is always open.
Yeah.
And every time I go there, he's always he says hi.
Yeah.
He's always says something for the camera.
Yeah.
He's just a great guy, but it's a
Yeah.
huge place.
Yeah.
And they got a big vault there, which
Yeah.
I haven't seen, which obviously I'm
Yeah.
not going to be able to unless I'm an employee,
Right.
but I did get the entire tour, and it's a big place, man. It really is. It's impressive.
That's cool. Now, do they I know a lot of the business is online, but can anybody go in there and take a look at a sample of their watches, or do you have to make an appointment? I would assume you have to make an appointment first, right? So
Yeah,
like walk-ins.
yeah, you have to make an appointment because, like, when you ring the bell, they ask like who you're here to see,
Yeah,
and
yeah,
so yeah, it is definitely like it's high security.
yeah, yeah, sure.
They have multi-million dollars of watches there, so I
Yeah,
mean,
yeah,
you got to. Oh, and also, I bought before I even bought this watch, I bought 2 pieces of jewelry for my wife.
yeah,
So I have a pretty good relationship over there now because I've spent
yeah,
quite a few bucks over there already. So
yeah. Good for you, man. That's awesome,
yeah,
man.
thank you.
I love it. Let's hit up the chat here now. Sean's asking an interesting question. If Rolex production increased and you go walk in and buy, would you?
Absolutely.
Yeah,
Only if though, and it's not just about like the quantities and if I can just walk in there. That's only one piece of the pie. If they could also then treat me like they treat $1 million customer,
yeah,
just like with again, I'm going to plug Luxury Bazaar one more time here.
mm,
And Chris said this even in the video. It doesn't matter if you're going in there and buying $100 Timex or you're going in there and buying $100,000 Richard Mill.
mm.
They're going to treat you the same. And I felt like I was treated just like anybody else that walks in the door there. And that's the way I want to be treated at a Rolex dealer too. So that
That's
would be the
awesome.
second. That would be the second piece.
Hey, Pete from Not So Obvious Watches is here. He's like, as a watch enthusiast, I love hunting for a great watch. Hunting for a person to sell to me, nope. Kevin S. respects your honest opinions.
Thank you. It's the only way I
Hey,
can be.
Fugazi. Yep.
Fugazi. Yeah.
Roman,
Speaking of,
good dude.
Speaking of, I still have one here, the Omega, the
I
Fugazi.
saw that. I saw that video. That was a nice little. I was like, oh my god, he got ripped off, and then I'm like, ah, nah, he's
No, I actually ripped them off.
yeah, yeah. Kevin S. Roman's an old school stand-up guy. Great story.
It really is.
Yeah, Chris, Bobby, come down. Yeah, I mean, I'm only about an hour and a half away from you guys, so when I get some free time, I would love to come down and we'll hang out with you guys and check out Luxury
Oh
Bazaar.
yeah, that would be awesome. You can go there and play with watches all day long, man.
Oh yeah,
That's what I did that with the Snoopy Omega the other day, man. I mean,
nice.
I was starstruck there. I mean, of course, yeah. I met Roman, I met Nico. I didn't care about that. When I saw the Snoopy watch, I was like, whoa, now that's a star.
Yeah.
I was starstruck.
Yeah, that's cool. Neff is like, I want to go down there and try some crazy watches sometime, see what all the RM fuss is about. Yeah, read about. I'm here to see Chris. Yeah, that's all.
There you go.
Right? Let's see here. Any more questions for Joe? Wait, we need a Bobby Legs Gray Market collab. All right. All right. Where's Luxury Bros? It's right outside of Philly, right?
Yeah, it's actually Southampton. It's in like an industrial. It's like an industrial strip.
Hmm.
It's like off the main streets, but
Yeah,
I mean, there it is open to the public.
yeah, yeah. Okay, so moving on. You do a lot on your channel, a lot of micro reviews, and a lot of quote unquote affordable watches, right? Um, let's go back to micros here real quick. What micros have been really catching your eye lately? If you have a couple.
So, I anyone that knows my channel knows that I always talk about MAS Matthew and Sons, the Era Kanji, and I
Oh, good.
actually have the purple version with the 10 o'clock crown,
Yeah.
and I also have the black version with the 4 o'clock crown. So jellyfish looking case. It's got the
Oh,
jelly.
interesting.
It's got the
Yeah.
jellyfish in the back. The Irukandji, which is the killer jellyfish of the Australian waters.
Mm,
Ceramic bezel. You're
yeah.
looking at about a 39 millimeter bezel, and
Yeah.
then the case actually tapers to like a 42 back here.
Oh,
So
interesting.
so it's pretty interesting. So it
Yeah.
actually wears smaller than a 42 because of
Hmm.
the dimension, but it's a really great brand, and it literally is a father and son. And the son is he's actually I think he's probably about 7 or 8 now, and I actually have his rendering of the Irukandji up here.
Nice.
Um, so I have that hanging on my wall there. So
Yeah.
yeah, I love the brand because, again, not just because of the watch, but because of the experience that you talk to Matt, the guy's going to treat you like $1,000,000. So I recommend the brand highly.
Yeah. Yeah.
And speaking of $1,000,000 service and customer service, I cannot leave out this brand here, the Swiss Watch Company,
Yeah. Yeah. It's a favorite.
and
Yep.
got the
Hmm.
bunker here on the baby blue, very comfortable Velcro strap, and I have the diver here, the Mark. I think it's the Mark MK2, I believe it is. I apologize if I got that wrong, and this is
No,
on
it's yeah.
the FKM Strapsco rubber because the bracelet is just so big and bulky. But this is an entire family that has Swiss roots. The father worked for the Omega for a while,
Hmm.
even. And he's got tons of years of experience working for them. And I know one of the sons is actually a watchmaker studying in Switzerland, and he actually puts these watches together.
Hmm.
Um, Total family affair, and again, awesome customer service, and they're going to treat you like $1,000,000 too. So
Excellent. Excellent, man. So you got Tudor in your collection. You
yes, sir.
got Omega in your collection, right? You have Planet Ocean,
Yes, sir.
and you got Breitling in your collection,
Yes.
and many affordables, many micro brands. What is next for you? Um,
What is next? Well, I
I know
would
you just
say
picked up the Tudor, so I know you're like,
a big break. That's
yeah,
what's next.
yeah,
I know a lot of watch collectors. They have like this game plan of like what I'm going to get next, and
yeah.
I'm one of those average Joes that just goes with the flow. It's like,
Hmm. Hmm.
I'm so blessed to have a collection that I have that I honestly don't have anything on my list. I mean, I just kind of take it as it comes.
Yeah,
So yeah, I'm happy where I'm at, to be honest with you.
yeah,
If I never got another watch, I know some people wouldn't believe me. Probably my wife is watching. Is probably just like, yeah, right.
yeah,
But I am truly very blessed, and I
yeah,
really don't have anything in mind right now that I'm looking at. I mean, so
yeah,
what about
yeah.
you?
Well, I mean, I think I'm laying low for a little while, just because, like, more like outside factors, right? Uncertainty with the economy and all the stuff that's going on in the world. Like, I'm not really
Yeah,
sure if I want to keep on, spending any money right now. I just rather
right,
just like kind of like put it in other places where I think it makes sense. But I mean, like, I can't, maintain this pace of buying Rolex every 6 months. It's
right.
just too much. But that's right now the only thing that that I'm really interested in, and I'm just going through this like huge phase. And so like my collection is actually just like I have like 4
Yeah,
watches now.
you're okay. I know when you talked to Chris, which was like last week or so, you were down to
Yeah,
3,
yeah,
and now you
yeah.
got 4. Okay,
So now I got 4. I mean,
two
G-Shocks don't count.
Rolex.
2
So you have
Rolex, a
two.
Girard Perregaux, and a
Sure.
Panerai that I've had. Those 2 watches I've had since like 2005, and then Panerai I bought in 2007. So I've had those watches for a while now, right? But the Rolex has been a recent addition. Thanks, Chris, again. What's that AP brick next to Joe? You have a AP brick?
Well, I think he's talking about the next watch he's going to try to sell me because
Oh, okay.
Chris is he's sneaky. He's a very quiet
Oh
guy,
yeah, I know he is.
but
Yeah,
like you were just saying, like I just put a ton of money into the stock market
yeah,
over the past month, like more money than I wish to admit.
yeah,
And then he comes over and is like, "Hey, I got this Tudor Black Bay GMT." And I'm like, "I just spent so much money in the stock market. I can't
yeah.
afford this." And then he gives me the price. I'm like, "Oh my gosh, I'm gonna kill you!" Like, I'm you know, I actually just blocked his number for now because I cannot look at another watch right now. So, Chris, if you're texting me right now, I don't see you. I don't see you.
Yeah. Kevin, you're right. Just enjoy what you have and digest some of the recent
Yeah.
purchases. Yeah. So, like, and I have a bunch of like, G-Shocks. I have like about 8 of them in the collection that are fun, affordable, and I could throw
How
them
come
on anytime.
how
Yeah.
come you don't count them?
Well, I mean, that's just like it's kind of like the running joke. Yeah, G-Shocks don't count. It's like a guilty pleasure because it's like a guilty pleasure, right? Like if I'm jonesing for a watch, right, and I don't want to spend the kind of money on watches that I like, I'll get like a G-Shock, and they're so cool, but
Hey
they don't
man,
count.
a
They don't
watch
count.
a watch is a watch, man.
No, no,
That's all I
you're
say.
true. No,
Yeah.
in the grand scheme of things, you're right. That they do count in the collection. But I'm able to I always have a hard time saying this word.
You're
Carp,
putting the blinders on.
yeah, yeah, putting in different compartments.
Yeah. Yeah, I hear you.
So I could keep the G-Shock in one little case over here, and then I have like the mechanical watches on the next one, and so like I'm just gonna hang out there for a little while until maybe next few months and see how like things shake out in the world before I even think about making another move, which will probably be Rolex again. If I'm lucky enough. If I'm lucky enough, right?
Well,
Um,
you're very blessed right now, man. I mean, you have a
no, no, I know,
Submariner,
I know, I know.
which you paid retail for,
Yeah,
and if you were to sell that, you would make almost double what you paid for it.
yeah, yeah. I mean,
Yeah.
that's so like I I. I love the Submariner. I've been chasing after it for a really, really long time, right?
Yeah.
So and it's met every expectation. I love the Air King. I'm not going to sell these things, but I got to tell you, there is part of me that's like gets some satisfaction knowing that at this moment in time, if I was ever in a bind, right? Um, I lost my
Yep.
job. A tree falls on the house and the insurance won't pay for it. That I can sell those watches and then have some security that way. I mean, I had money in crypto. I took most of it out because I felt like if it's not worth it. Like, I'll put money in if I can on a Rolex that I would wear and be happy to wear and get a more stable rate of return. I don't want to look at it that way, but I can't pretend that it's not there.
Oh,
You know what I mean?
absolutely. And that's the thing. Like Rolex is one of the and here's where I'm going to give Rolex credit. It's one of the watches, one of the brands that you could buy where you can definitely, if you buy one, you'll definitely at least make your money back if you were to sell it. But more than
Mhm.
likely, you're going to actually make more money, especially with this craze now. I mean, if you got in before this bubble, man, it's like
Yeah,
hitting, it's like having a lottery ticket. It's
yeah,
unbelievable. So
yeah. And I
yeah,
know we preach watches are not an investment,
right.
um, and and they're not for me. But it's nice to be able to fantasize that just in case if there was a moment where I needed it, I can sell it and then probably make a little bit of money on top of it, but that's never going to happen. I'm not going to sell it. I love these pieces. They're going to stay with me for forever, forever, forever. Play the music. Somebody play the music for me.
Forever, ever, forever,
The love,
ever.
yeah, the love music. Anyway,
you sound a little bit like me though. You sound like you're very investment strategic, and the big reason why I bought this watch was because I know that if I didn't, I would kick myself first and foremost. Yeah. But I know that if I sold this watch tomorrow, I would actually make a pretty nice chunk of change because I got it for well under what the market value is. So I always have that in the back of my head when it comes to stuff like that.
Look, we all want to get a good deal.
Amen.
You know what I mean? No matter what it is, right? You know what I mean? And right now, good deal on Rolex is MSRP.
Yeah, you got to wait.
Yeah, but you got to wait. But nobody ever says, zero people have ever said, oh, I want to pay twice as much as what I could actually get it for if I just waited a day. You know what I mean?
Right,
so like,
right.
You got a great deal on the Tudor. You jumped on it. You know what I mean? Nobody's ever going to fault you on that.
No. Yeah. Even though I didn't want to, Chris, I know you're still watching. You know what? You should be donating some money to me, man.
Rob is always thinking about being strategic, but then he doesn't, which is why he's the man. I am fully aware that I am the biggest hypocrite. I'm fully aware. I have no delusion that I speak with two sides here. Like my tongue is split or whatever. I don't know what the sayings are. Nobody ever says that my tongue is split. I don't know where that came from. But I know that I make no sense. I double talk all the time when it comes to watches. But
hey, you're a humble guy. That's what I respect about you. The guy, you can at least admit that. Hey, you know what? I'm a hypocrite. Yeah. I mean, we all are to a degree. Yeah. We all are. I mean, it's just human nature, man. I mean, our opinions change sometimes daily. So I mean, it's okay.
Yeah. Well, Joe, what do you have going on with the channel? What do you got coming up in the next week or so?
I actually have a fun video coming up next week. If anybody owns bronze watches, I'm actually I'm gonna show you how to take off the patina, polish that watch up, and make it look new. And then I'm gonna once it looks new, I'm gonna mess it all up again and make it look like it's 100 years old. So nice. you'll definitely want to stay tuned because usually in these videos, you usually see a person that's either cleaning it off or accelerating it. Well, in my video, I'm going to show you how to do both. So stay tuned.
Awesome. Yes, talking out of both sides of your mouth. That's it. Split tongue. I don't know where that came from. Anyway,
call you the dragon.
Call me some kind of like dragon or snake.
Yeah.
Anyway, Joe, thank you so much for joining me tonight. I really appreciate it.
I really appreciate it, man.
I love your channel, guys. Please check out Joe's channel. Link in the description, and also link to his Instagram is in the description below. And guys, we'll see you next Tuesday for a Tuesday night watch talk. Take care. Have a good one.